The rough life, I just be up nights, breathing with scuff nights. Pour my beers,
Put my peoples under the stairs. These years I got their names in my swears. Your style like it's my first child. Wallaby down.
24 carats,
Counting cabbage like the Arabs. The marriage of me and the mic is just like marriage. Elegant performance. Guzzle Lex for insurance. Guzzling Guinness. Shooting, catching cases concurrent. It's Nas. 700 eyes. Think Solomon size. You only rise. E&G. Ghetto wise guys.
the Luciano, Frankie Yale, Bugsy Siegel, green papers with eagles from
A trade that's illegal.
You got to make it happen. Yeah.
Get this money, yeah. I like that song. Today what we're going to talk about is how I inherited a crack house. Now, you would think that I inherited a crack house from a black man. I inherited a crack house from a white man. Actually, an Israeli man. This is Josh Davidabadi. His last name is Davidabadi, and he was a straight gangster, Israeli gangster. That's me with my government warning shirt. I've already told you about government warning. Government warning is a punk band. When I linked up with Josh Davidabadi, I linked up with people like this, drug addicts. That's me inside of a Wendy's, and that's a drug addict playing games with me. This is a serious picture. I'm really upset. I'm really mad. She was one of the clients that I inherited from Josh Davidabadi. I would get her to ride me around. Now, Josh was a crack dealer. He sold crack, and he was well loved in the ghetto. Black people loved him. White people loved him. Asian people loved him. Josh had a very diverse clientele. Josh is in prison right now, from what I know. But at this point in time, it's about, 2013? That's the time period. He had just came home, according to this post. Yeah, welcome home, white boy Josh. Josh came home, and then Josh went back to prison within like 3 months. This is the 3-month period when he was out. I'm rolling around with Josh. I'm not selling drugs. I'm actually I think I just finished going to trial for my own distribution of marijuana charge. I'm trying to lay low. I'm trying to figure out who I am. I'm trying to figure out why was I selling weed. I'm trying to figure out how am I going to get money because I just went through a bunch of changes, because I just went to court, got convicted, got a felony. Now I'm kind of feeling like, okay, I'm going to sell drugs. They want to make me out to be a drug dealer, and I'm really selling drugs. So I'm rolling with Josh. I'm not selling drugs yet, but Josh goes to prison. Josh leaves me his cell phone. He got 3 phones. He sells nothing but crack. Josh is generating about $50,000 a month, I would say, from his crack operation. And I inherited it. And the whole thing was he wanted me to hold down the crack operation until he returned. But he didn't return for 16 to 18 months. So that time period, I basically was selling all the crack. That's me at a crack house. That's a guy who was purchasing ice cream for me. He wasn't a crackhead, but, you can see through the lines. No disrespect to him. We were all caught up in a struggle at that time. I'm showing you me and I'm showing you him. I'm not trying to put him out there. I'm putting myself out there as well because that's how I was living at the time. I inherited a crack house. That's me in the crack house. I got the Versace's on. I got my little lady. I've been rocking that shirt for years. I got a bunch of them. I felt like a communist. I felt angry and I was ready to get this money. And I was holding it down for my boy Josh. I didn't know nothing about crack. I went from selling weed to inheriting a crack operation, right? So, like I told you before, I was involved in the punk rock scene as a teenager. So, at this time, 2013, I'm 22 years old. Guess what happens? Once I inherit Josh's crack operation, I start running into some of my old homeboys from the punk scene. And they start purchasing crack from me. That's me right there at a punk show, Siege. This t-shirt I got on, it's a band called Siege. See, there's a black guy right there. I'm not the only one. There's a black guy right there. But I hook up with my punk rock guys. I let them know, hey, I just inherited a $50,000 a month crack operation. And what do you know about crack? I'm thinking, hey, white people don't know nothing about crack. And they tell me, yeah, we know a lot about crack. Actually, we got some clientele for you. So I expanded the $50,000 a month crack operation and made it even bigger. I already got connects with the projects. That's me in the projects. I'm in the projects. So, I'm getting in the game again. I'm using my white boys who I was friends with in the punk rock community in combination with my black friends in the projects. You see me in the projects. And because a white guy gave me his crack operation, I'm making a lot of money. But I kept it G. I kept it real. And when Josh came home, I gave him $150,000 because that wasn't my money. I ate. Yeah, I made a lot of money. The money that I made from that 18 months of selling crack, holding down his crack operation. I probably made about 75,000 for myself, 80,000 for myself. He probably had about 150, something like that. And I gave the operation back to him when he came home. And you know, I didn't want to be a crack dealer. I didn't want to, but at that point in time, I was vulnerable because I had just got convicted of you know, I was a fresh felon from distribution of marijuana. And all of a sudden, I didn't know where I was at in life. I was suicidal. I was depressed because I was a felon. And I said, you know what? I don't have no other way of making money. McDonald's rejected me from a job, by the way. How do you think that made me feel as a man? You know, McDonald's rejected me. I was going to college. I dropped out of college. You understand? And I started selling crack. I inherited his crack operation. And I inherited for about 18 months. And in that 18 months, I'd made a decision. I don't want to do this. I'm going to push forward. Maybe one day I can make money legally. Josh, you can have your crack operation back. Here's your money. I got my money off of it. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for letting me have your 3 phones. And thank you for letting me hold it down with you. But I don't want to be a crack dealer. I could have kept the operation. I could have continued to sell crack with Josh. Josh is in prison right now. I think he's doing like 25 years or something like that. Salute to him. He was a good man. Josh knew that I was in a vulnerable place at that time. He knew that I didn't have any money. He knew, because I used to sell weed to Josh. That's how I knew him. And he said, Benny, I'm going to prison. You need money. You're in a vulnerable place. Take my crack operation. I know you don't want to sell crack, but at least you're selling it to white people, so you're not going to feel, because I'm a black revolutionary. I don't mean any offense. Don't get mad at that comment, but he knew that. He said, Benny, I know you're a black revolutionary, and I know you feel funny about selling crack to black people, so sell it to white people. And I said, Josh, I'll think about it. And I did. What else was I going to do? McDonald's turned me down. They said, Benjamin, since you just got your felony last week, we can't hire you. So I said, okay, Josh, I'll inherit your crack operation. And yeah, man. And I got that experience. It was dangerous. It generated a lot of money. I kept it real with Josh. Josh kept it real with me. And that's how it goes. Every single day when a kingpin gets locked up, somebody inherits the operation. Just so happened to be me that time. But people inherit operations. What you think? The addicts are still out there. They still need what they need, right? Peace.